Chocolate was never my dream. I didn't grow up saying, one day I'll become a chocolatier. In fact, I went to London to study information technology. That was the plan. Safe career, stable future, predictable life. But life has a strange way of pulling you somewhere else. And honestly, if a few things had gone wrong, this story could have ended very differently. When I landed in London, I was just another Indian student trying to figure life out. I was studying IT, coding, projects. Everything looked normal from outside, but internally, something wasn't clicking. I was doing what I was supposed to do, not what I actually loved. And I think many people understand this feeling. You're moving, but not connected to where you're going. Then something unexpected happened. I somehow entered the food industry, not strategically, not intentionally, just accidentally. And inside that world, I found chocolate. Now understand this carefully. It was not the sweetness that attracted me. It was the science. That's what fascinated me. The behavior of fats, temperature curves, crystallization. The more I learned, the deeper it became. And slowly, curiosity became obsession. Now here's the interesting part. Most people think once you find your passion, everything becomes clear. No. That's not what happened. I was still doing other jobs, still trying to survive, still figuring things out. Chocolate was growing quietly in the background, and honestly, there was no guarantee this would become anything. No mentor telling me, yes, this will work. No roadmap, no certainty, just curiosity and hard work. Then recession hit, and recession changes people, especially immigrants, especially when survival becomes real. Suddenly, everything becomes unstable. Work slows down. Pressure increases. Future becomes blurry. And this is the phase nobody talks about because entrepreneurship sounds glamorous later. But during uncertainty, it feels terrifying. There were moments where I genuinely didn't know what was next. So I made a decision. I moved back to India. Now most people think coming back home feels comfortable. Not always. Sometimes it feels like, okay, now what? Because now you must rebuild from scratch. Different market, different ecosystem, different challenges. And on top of that, I had loans. Real pressure. Not motivational quote pressure. Actual financial pressure. The kind that keeps you awake at night. And this is where the story could have collapsed completely. Because passion alone does not pay EMIs. Reality does. But one thing was clear in my head. I knew I understood chocolate deeply. Not just recipes, understanding, science, process, control. So instead of trying to become a giant chocolate factory, I took a different route. In 2011, I launched 32 Degree. And the vision was different from day one. Not just production, education, consulting, systems, helping people understand chocolate properly, helping brands build products, helping home bakers become professionals, helping chefs move deeper into craft. Now let me tell you something important. When you start something unconventional, people don't immediately understand it, especially in India. At that time, bean to bar was still niche. Craft chocolate was tiny. Most people were simply buying compound chocolate, melting it, molding it. Very few people were studying the craft deeply. And I was entering that space with loans on my head. That's risky, very risky. But I kept one philosophy. Straight work, no shortcuts, no fake positioning, no pretending. Just learn deeply, teach honestly, work consistently. And slowly, things started moving. One workshop became two. One student referred another. One consulting project became another. Then brands started approaching. Then larger opportunities came. And over time, 32 Degree became more than a business. It became an ecosystem. But here's the thing most people don't see. Growth was not explosive. It was layered. Built slowly, quietly. And honestly, that's what saved me. Because I never chased hype. I chased capability. And capability compounds. Today, when people see the business, they see the outcome. The workshops, the consulting, the products, the reputation. But they don't see the uncertainty, the pressure, the fear, or the number of times this could have failed. And maybe that's why I wanted to make this video. Because I think too many people today see success as a straight line. It's not. Sometimes your career begins accidentally. Sometimes your biggest opportunity comes from curiosity. And sometimes the thing that saves your life financially was never even part of your original plan. If you asked my younger self in London, will you return to India and build a chocolate consulting and education company? I would have laughed. Seriously, I would have said no chance. But life doesn't always reward planning. Sometimes it rewards attention. Paying attention to what pulls you naturally. And that's the biggest lesson I learned. Chocolate was not my childhood dream, but once I entered it, I respected it deeply. I studied it deeply, and eventually that depth created opportunities. Not overnight, but consistently. So if you're someone watching this, feeling confused, feeling late, feeling uncertain, remember this. You do not need to have your whole life figured out. You just need curiosity, consistency, and courage to continue during uncertainty. Because sometimes the accidental path becomes the real journey. And if you want to learn chocolate this way, not just recipes, but real understanding, that's exactly what we teach at 32 Degree. Follow and subscribe for more such videos.